everyone, I'm Dr. Smriti Nayak. I'm a gynecologist and infertility specialist at Aster RV Hospitals in JP Nagar, Bangalore. Today I will be talking to you about IVF. It stands for in vitro fertilization. So what is IVF? IVF is a procedure in which the eggs are retrieved from the female patient outside her body and are fertilized in an embryology lab using the sperms of the husband. This procedure is taken place outside the body, and that is why the term IVF is used, because in vitro means outside the body. Once the embryos are created, they are transferred back into the uterus of the female patient, and here the embryo undergoes implantation and then leads to a pregnancy. IVF is not a painful procedure. Of course, it does involve injections on a daily basis, some blood tests, and the main procedure, which is the ovum pickup, does include a little bit of pain, but it is done under anesthesia. So to answer the question whether IVF is a painful process, it is actually not, because it is well taken care of, and during the procedure, anesthesia is administered to make sure that the patient does not perceive the pain. The procedure per se of IVF starts on the second or third day of the periods, when the patient comes into the fertility clinic and we do a baseline transvaginal scan to look for any cysts or any other abnormalities. A baseline investigation is also done before starting the stimulation for the patient. Along with this, we will do follicle monitoring, where patients are called back on a regular basis to check the follicle measurements. The husband is asked to put a semen sample in the cryobank as a backup, because on the day of the egg retrieval, we will need the husband to come down and give a fresh sample. Once the eggs have reached a mature size of around 18 to 20 mm, we post the patient for a procedure called oocyte pickup. This is done first thing in the morning. Usually, patients are asked to come in on an empty stomach and are prepared for the procedure. Once the anesthesia is administered, the procedure starts and the eggs are retrieved and given to the embryologist. The embryologist sees the grades of the oocyte and gauges which are the good oocytes and which are the bad oocytes, and accordingly proceeds with the ICSI. This comprises the process of the IVF. The embryos are then prepared and kept in the freezer, and a plan is made as to when the embryo transfer should be done for the patient. The preparation of an IVF cycle is similar to your preconceptional counseling that every couple goes through before they plan for a pregnancy. Hence, I do not suggest you walking into any fertility center asking for an IVF to be done immediately. It requires some amount of preparation time, where the patient's weight is checked, and we advise patient to reduce the weight to an appropriate level of BMI, so that the response that they get for the stimulation drugs as well as the quality of the oocytes improves. Other than this, we also check for certain hormone levels in the patient, like thyroid, prolactin, which can easily be corrected by giving drugs. For the male partner, we check the semen analysis and any other advanced tests to see if there are any defects, because these will be utilized during the ovum pickup. So there is some amount of preparation time that is required before the IVF. So I would advise all the couples to approach a fertility center at least 1 or 2 cycles prior to when they want to undergo an IVF, so that certain supplements, blood tests, and a proper evaluation is done of the couple. The causes of failure of IVF are multiple, but we will be checking on 3 aspects. One is the embryo quality, one is the endometrium, and of course there are certain unexplained factors that we'll have to investigate. If the embryo is of a good grade and the endometrium is of a thinner measurement, the chances of failure of IVF will be there. But if the endometrium is of a good measurement and the embryo is also of a good grade, the chances of IVF will be more than around 60%. So ICSI is a term that you all would have heard when you've approached an IVF center. ICSI stands for intracytoplasmic sperm injection. In this process, the oocytes are injected with the sperm to make sure that the fertilization takes place. In the conventional IVF, which was done many years ago, the oocytes and the sperms were placed in a petri dish so that the natural selection or the natural fertilization would take place and the oocytes would get fertilized by the sperms on its own. But this led to high fertilization failure rates. Hence, ICSI is the procedure done nowadays where the oocyte is held and the sperm is injected to make sure that the fertilization takes place. Coming to the complications of IVF, we can divide it into two segments. One is the complication that take place during the IVF procedure, and the second is during the pickup. So during IVF, we see complications like overstimulation in patients of PCO, and they land up in a situation called ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. In OHSS, there will be multiple eggs which grow, and this increases the estrogen levels. This in turn causes a lot of fluid accumulation in the abdomen, and in more severe cases it can go up to the lungs. These patients are admitted and treated by monitoring and also by fluid supplementation. So during the pickup, there are certain complications that can happen. The most common is bleeding, some infection. There can be injury to the bowel and bladder. But these complications will be very rare when the procedure is done by an expert. In case of a failed IVF, there are certain ways in which we can improve the success of the subsequent cycles. One of the ways to do that is through something called PGS, which stands for pre-implantation genetic screening. Here, certain cells from the embryo are tested to see for any chromosomal abnormalities, and these embryos are not chosen to be transferred. The embryos which turn out to be euploid, that means genetically normal, are the ones chosen to be transferred. The embryos are tested each embryo at a time, and it cannot be combined for all the embryos. The other way in which we can improve the success of IVF is through a procedure called ERA, which is endometrial receptivity array. Here, we check the endometrium by taking a sample of it and testing to see if it is receptive to accept the embryo. These tests are not proposed to a first-time IVF patient, but they are recommended for patients who've had multiple failed IVF cycles.